Hey guys, how you all doing? It has definitely been way too long since last update. In fact, it's been nearly a month, and although I'd love to say that I was able to get a regular month's worth of progress into this update, unfortunately I haven't, but as you can see in the shot behind you, and you will discover later on in the video, I have done a lot of progress, and I just want to jump into it, so let's do that. So keeping no surprises from you, this is the mock in its current state, and as you can see, yes, I do have some vehicles now, especially the Millennium Falcon. It looks great. This is the new 2019 edition for the Rise of Skywalker. I'll go into a little bit more detail on that in a little bit. Of course, I also have the X-Wing Starfighter that you did see in my last haul video that I did. That was also about a month ago, and it looks very cool. And as you can see here, I am experimenting with the kind of water effect where when the engines are blowing against the water, it kind of creates this really nice ripple effect. So that's what I'm going for right there. But as you can see, I angled it as well. Now I will change those supports so that they're transparent, but I really like the angle of how it's like flying up over the lake. Just a little bit of an overview right now. I haven't really worked on the bay or anything around because, of course, last few weeks I have focused on building the sets, a few other things, and of course the castle, which I will go into much more detail. Again, here's just another look at the depot area. Hasn't changed much, although I did find this cannon, which is part of a, I want to say a battle pack, but I'm not sure. It's one of those probably $15-20 sets, and I thought it would look really cool because, I'll put a picture on screen, but in the Battlefront 2 game, there's some sort of a turret or gun located in this depot area, and I think without having to build my own, this kind of represents that pretty well, so I might end up using this in my final design. And of course, for the castle, the main part of this mock, the last time you guys saw it, there was no back building really existing at all. It was much less developed. It was around down here, so I built it all the way up here, and it was pretty exciting to do that. The courtyard was only about half built, and there was no signs of a path or doorway existing there, and the bar area was at a much lower level. It was about 3-4 bricks high at a maximum, and then there was no doors or any sort of interior detailing, you might say. But starting off in the courtyard, this is the kind of steps that lead up into it, and sorry for the shaky video. I'm having to do this handheld because my tripod can't fit into these tight gaps. But here's the path that leads up to the main doorway, and I think I quite like it. Now, the thing that I didn't like about how the movie presented it is that it was very distinctly outlined, so it didn't really spill over onto the grass. It was very angular, but then, of course, at the same time, it was very much ruined, and there were loose tiles everywhere. Now, I did try my best and try and capture that. I think it turned out okay, but I might end up changing that design. Then, of course, there's these very iconic, I guess you call them pillars or statues of some sort, and I think they look very cool standing right there. Now, of course, that did come from the Takodana set, as a little bit of this doorway did as well, and here is a good shot. Basically, what I did is I took the design that was in the set, which was primarily at this central area over here with the flag, and I extended it and added an extra row of slopes over here and the wall over there. And then here's just a brief look of what it looks like from the back for the most part, and you can see that most of the internal construction of this area is built using a bunch of filler brick because I wanted to conserve the amount of dark tan bricks that I was using because they are fairly expensive and not that widely available, so I need to conserve them as much as possible. But of course, moving on to this building right here, which is pretty big, but at the same time, pretty boring. There's not much I could do about that. This is how the building looks like, but it's more for grandeur. This whole section here, we don't really know what's going on here. There's no scenes that are really located here, so this is just going to be empty space, but I'll take you on a little bit of a tour of how I built it. I left you guys at about this brick level right here, and I built it up. And then at this level, I went in and I tried to give a little bit of an interesting design going, well, as you can see with the taller slopes here and these slopes, and then moving up, I just used these slopes so that I could get it to the size of 16 by however long this is, just to get a fairly standard size because I could use these larger 16 by 8 plates stretching across here. And then, of course, on this side, I did leave this wall slightly open because you remember there's this kind of curved building that sticks out on this side. So I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to connect that. And of course, I didn't need to put dark tan here if you were never going to see it. And then on the inside of this building, it is completely hollow, but I will take off this plate right here just so that you guys can see. There is pretty much nothing inside here. Sorry for the glare. And there you can see how I supported this internal wall right here. So this wall right here, instead of completely filling it up with dark tan as I did on this side, I thought, you're never going to see it. So I'm just going to start building the wall right here. And everything below this is pretty much just very basic filler brick. Now for the last building of this castle, I have taken out the bar or the bar building so that you guys can see it in a little bit more detail. Now of course, as you guys remember, there are these huge kind of pillar things that stick out, and this will be the final height of the building. And then in relation to everything else, it is pretty much going to be the height of this is at the moment. And then of course, this will be a tower that comes to the highest point at about right here. So this will be the tallest part of the whole castle. And then this building will reach to about this height when it's completed. And there will be the bar scene inside. Now, as you can see, for all of these buildings, as you can see all around here and whatever, I am trying to intersperse it with as much dark nougat as I can just to break up the boring dark tan. Now, in here, of course, since the internal construction of all of these buildings are all filler brick, and there's not going to be any interior in there besides the bar scene, I wanted to make it look like there was a door leading to the rest of the castle, but then I put black bricks on the back of this, and kind of gave it a door-esque outline, so that you think that it leads somewhere, but it's just, at the end of the day, for show, and I think that turned out quite nice. Now, of course, those pillars will continue up to the ceiling. Now, I'm not sure if I want to make this 2 stories because it will be a pretty big building. And as you can see, this could be the perfect height just for a 1-floor building at its current point. So I could make it 2 floors. So I'd love to know your guys' suggestions on what I could put on the 2nd floor should I do one. But I probably need to know as soon as possible because I don't want to take it apart and then make a 2nd floor. Now here is going to be the main entrance to the bar, and there is going to be a door here. But I thought to do something a little bit different, I want to try a sliding door, which is why you kind of see this sort of mechanism going up. What I'm going to do is put tiles down along here, and then of course it won't have any gears or anything, but I'll be able to slide the doors in and out so that the doors will be here, and then they open up and tuck into these little areas back here. And I think that will be pretty cool, and can't wait to see how that turns out. That is basically what it looks like from the side view. And then lastly, before I wrap up this video, I want to talk a little bit about this brand new Millennium Falcon. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Definitely the best one LEGO has ever made. I really like it. And then I think we scaled it pretty well. The bay, I think it fits the Millennium Falcon quite nicely, and there's a little bit of excess room on the side. But of course, this isn't a review of the Millennium Falcon. There are much better ones out there on YouTube. But here's just a quick run through, and I think it looks really cool. Now, it opens up now in 4 flaps as opposed to before being, 12, 18, don't know. But it's much easier to get inside. You can see it has a pretty big interior. Running you guys through here is this very classic seating area with the kind of space chest going on here. We have Lando and this new character Bulio, as well as R2-D2, and this center console screen that you see Han Solo using in the original trilogy. Then that is supposed to be kind of a representation of a passage that leads to the cockpit area right here, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. And then back here there is some weird kitchen. Why they would put a kitchen on the Millennium Falcon, I don't know. I mean, I suppose there is going to be one, but it just doesn't match the theme at all. And then we have some beds here and the hyperdrive oscillator, or whatever they call it. And then this is the new version of Finn. And this guy looks pretty cool. Alright guys, that wraps it up for week 5 of building Takodana in LEGO. And again, I apologize for having delaying this video for nearly a month. I will never do that again. I was just seriously busy with school and a few other things, and I wasn't able to dedicate enough time to make videos on Takodana or my YouTube channel in general. But hopefully in the future, I will be able to pump out much more videos and expect a new kind of cycle or schedule of at least one video a week, and if I can, 2 videos. And with that, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.